Among the things you'll pass on just about any given street in the historic district are structures known as the Charleston Single House. Single meaning these homes are only one room wide. Side doors open onto porches, usually one stacked atop the other, known here as piazzas.
The Charleston Piazza it's not just for aesthetics. It's not just an architectural feature that's meant to be pretty, which it is, but it's also meant to be functional. The piazzas face south or west predominantly because that's in the summertime where the prevailing breezes come from. And in the wintertime, when the breezes are from the opposite direction, it provides a sheltered and sunny space on a winter afternoon. And so it functions as a semi-outdoor living space, transitional between the house and the garden.
Another familiar feature is the earthquake bolt, a legacy of the terrible trembler of 1886. Metal gib plates on the outside of the homes denote the presence of long metal bolts inside, meant to hold the walls together if another earthquake strikes. Other ironwork makes Charleston famous too. The beautiful wrought iron representing 3 centuries of meticulous low-country craftsmanship. Occasionally, it's menacing, like the chevaux de frise atop the fence at the Miles Bruton House on King Street. But usually, it's inspiring and beautiful, lending churchyards and private homes alike an air of beauty and grace. Perhaps the most famous and recognizable neighborhood in the city is the Battery at the tip of the peninsula. The homes here are among the most beautiful in Charleston.
The Battery is the one place in Charleston that even on the hottest day you will find a breeze, and so that's part of the attraction.
Other famous neighborhoods include East Bay Street's Rainbow Row, where the historic homes wear coats of brightly colored paint, and Church Street's Catfish or Cabbage Row, made famous in DuBose Hayward's 1925 novel Porgy. As you stroll the streets or enjoy a carriage ride, be sure to take note of the round plaques that are hung on the fronts of many buildings. These are the Carolopoulos plaques, awarded by the Preservation Society of Charleston to the owners of buildings that have been preserved, restored, rehabilitated, or are outstanding examples of new construction.
What we're really saying when you see that plaque on a building is you're saying that the Preservation Society believes that this was the correct way to do that work. And what you see here is what we would like for others to do.
No trip to Charleston is complete without a stop in the historic city market, a complex comprised of 4 blocks of enclosed and open-air stalls and stores. Here, you'll find the iconic Sweetgrass basket weavers, continuing a handicraft handed down over many generations.
The art came from Africa, Sierra Leone, and Angola, and it landed in Mount Pleasant. And so the women's in Mount Pleasant used these baskets for work, but the men made the larger ones for cultivating rice and storage and for fruits and vegetables and stuff like that.
Head west to King Street and you'll find world-class shopping, featuring famous brands in stores of every description. The intersection of Meeting and Broad Streets is often referred to as the 4 corners of law, referring to the federal, state, local, and ecclesiastical law represented on each corner of the intersection. On the southeast corner stands historic St. Michael's Church. The southwest corner is home to the federal courthouse. Across the street on the northwest corner stands the Charleston County Courthouse. And on the northeast corner is the historic Charleston City Hall. Visitors are welcome inside. You may visit the handsome City Council chambers, hung with portraits of famous South Carolinians from years past, and enjoy a small museum in the basement, which features exhibits of artifacts unearthed during archaeological digs in recent years. The chamber is lit by sunlight streaming in from the unique round windows. There are more foreboding public buildings in this time-worn city, including the old county jail, which was used continuously for a century and a half.
This was built in 1802 and was actually used by Charleston County until 1939. And then it lay fallow. It sat here for 60 years, home mainly to flocks of pigeons.
Almost every feature is still in this jail that was used as a jail. So when you walk through here, you're actually seeing history as it was and is.
Today, this building is home to the American College of the Building Arts, a small college which teaches liberal arts as well as historic preservation techniques. You may go inside for a ghost tour at night. Visitors are also fascinated by the old slave mart, a place where, unfortunately, human beings were bought and sold until slavery was ended.
Well, this building is unique. It's the only building in the South where enslaved people were sold that's still standing. So it's an important part of history, and you're actually in the place.
Charleston is noteworthy for many firsts, among them the ornate Dock Street Theater on Church Street.
The original theater opened in 1736 on this site, and it was the first building built for performing arts in the United States. The building that we're in now was built in 1809, and in the 1930s, the theater was put back into the shell of the Planters Hotel. That's what we have today.
Today, the Dock Street Theater remains a working theater, hosting performances by the Charleston Symphony Orchestra, the world-famous Spoleto Festival, and many other musical and dramatic performances throughout the year. Among America's great colonial structures is the Old Exchange and Provost Dungeon, which stands on East Bay Street facing west down Broad.
1788, all the eyes of the nation are on this room. What's going to happen here? For 200 delegates meet and debate. Are they going to be part of this new form of government that's being debated? It's the Constitution. They become the 8th state to ratify the Constitution inside the Old Exchange building.
Exhibits inside highlight many periods from Charleston's history. In the cellar beneath, you'll find exhibits related to pirate activities in Charleston, as well as the Court of Guard, the previous building that stood here when Charleston was a fortified city facing Spanish and French attack.
People always use the word walled, but really what they're referring to is a fortress. And you're going to have bastions, you're going to have guns all the way around the city, you're going to have a drawbridge to limit access as to who comes and who goes. It's like a medieval castle on a large scale.
Roughly 70 buildings remain from Charleston's pre-revolutionary days, including the Powder Magazine, a National Historic Landmark. Its unique vaulted ceiling has an important purpose.
It's really built to withstand an accidental explosion. So it's a rather ingenious design when we consider the date is early 1700s.
If a walk in the parks is what you prefer, Charleston is sure to please. 10-acre Marion Square between King and Meeting Streets north of Calhoun Street is the jewel in the city's crown. The park is dominated by a statue perched 80 feet high on a pedestal of prominent 19th century South Carolina statesman John C. Calhoun. Here you'll also find the city's Holocaust Memorial, a 6,000 square foot monument made of a 17-foot tall stainless steel latticework. In the middle is spread a 16-foot bronze prayer shawl. The north side of this green space is fronted by the original home of the Citadel, Charleston's military college. Today, the pink castle-like building is home to a hotel. The square also includes a beautiful cast-iron fountain, an obelisk honoring Confederate General and South Carolina Governor Wade Hampton, and a remnant of the wall of a fortification that protected the city during the American Revolution. Smaller, more understated Washington Square is situated between Charleston City Hall and the South Carolina Historical Society. Among the several plaques and monuments in this 1.5-acre shaded green space are a bust of 19th century poet Henry Temrod and a statue of George Washington. The 12-acre waterfront park on the eastern edge of the peninsula is Charleston's newest public park. It's anchored by 2 large fountains, including one made in the shape of a pineapple, and offers relaxing views of the marsh and the Cooper River. The most recognizable landmark in modern Charleston may be the Arthur Ravenel Jr. Bridge, a graceful 8-lane span stretching 2.5 miles and towering 575 feet over the Cooper River. The bridge's most appealing feature is the pedestrian and bicycle lane, which runs the length of the south side. It provides a great place for Charlestonians and visitors alike to exercise or sit on one of several benches and enjoy the beautiful sunsets over the peninsula. But of course, the best way to see Charleston is probably from the water, the same way countless mariners have entered the port city over more than 3 centuries. The schooner Pride offers modern-day visitors a chance to enjoy the bridge and the waterfront in a relaxing, old-world style, and even invites passengers to help hoist the sails themselves if they wish.
It's very quiet, very peaceful, no noise, just the water, the wind, and the quietness.
You really hear nothing. I mean, just a little bit of the water, and now we're hearing the birds, so that's cool.
The sunset may be peaceful and relaxing, but the cruise still ends with a boom as the Pride salutes diners at the popular waterfront restaurant Fleet Landing.